You guys are not going to want to sleep on the Jot 2. Let's get into it.
The floor, the cloud on triple dreams, living on the law. I'm the MVP, shots call me Kobe. Rim breaking ankles, they don't even know me. Straight to the hoop, life in a loop. Fans in the stands,
What's going on, guys? Noah here from Driveway Hoop Reviews, and today we have an outdoor review on the Nike Jot 2. Before we get started with the review today, I did just want to mention there will be timestamps at the bottom of the video, so if you are looking for anything in particular about the Nike Jot 2, it will be listed below and you can jump ahead. Also, one more thing to note real quick, 99.9% of you are not subscribed. Please subscribe. When we hit 500 subs, I'll actually do a giveaway on a pair of Nike GT Cut Academies, a fully customized Nike by you one. And I'll actually review your pair you made as well, so subscribe to maybe be entered for a chance to win that. But starting off with the tech specs of the Nike Jot 2 really quick, these released I believe in 2024, I want to say at the start of the NBA season, last year in 2024. They retail for $125, they were $120, but with the new price increase they're now up $5, and there are some versions that are $130. This version was actually $250. I was able to get it at an outlet though, at a Nike outlet near me, only for $100, so it was a pretty good deal. But the uppers consist of what is sometimes this like felt material. This is what this entire part on the quarter and just wrap around the entire shoe besides the toe box and the tongue is. This material can change. I've seen ones that are textile, I've seen ones that are plastic, so it does depend on the colorway. Each one might be a little bit different, I'm not really sure, and each one will definitely break in a little bit differently, so just be aware of that. The top of the toe box and the tongue is going to be this really open mesh. It's actually really nice, I like it, but just a very simple mesh, kind of just like, you know, shorts, jersey material. And then the tongue is, at the top of the tongue is going to be that same felt material or whatever your base layer is on the side of the shoe. And then the heel counter is also just more felt or whatever material your colorway will be. The cushion is Cushlon, they say, but I'm pretty sure it's Phylon because it's pretty stiff. And there is a 4-foot zoom unit. It is a rectangular stick of gum zoom unit and is formatted horizontally into the shoe, so it lines up with your toes and helps with landing and impact protection. And then the traction will be this kind of like I almost think of it as like a rock pattern. It's just like a bunch of different like almost suction cups or like just different quadrilateral shapes in the forefoot and the midfoot. And then you do have a brake here with this big Nike swoosh, and then this is just foam right here. There's also a top-loaded shank, and it is made of TPU. But starting off with the uppers and how they felt playing in them outdoors, I played them for about a month, by the way. I did play about 2 or 3 weeks inside, and then I went outdoors on this, but they actually feel really good, and I really like the upper setup here, especially this one. I know it will be a little bit different with breaking in and stuff, but this one's felt all the way through. The entire body is felt besides, like I said, the toe box and the tongue, and that's just going to be that open mesh. But this stuff breaks in really well. Zero pinching out the box. I had literally none. The heel paddings, it's okay. I would have liked a little bit more, but it's fairly firm and it tapers well, so it's not uncomfortable by any means. There's no heel slip almost at all. You can lock it down really well too. It's fairly breathable too. This black color, I was playing outside, it's like 90 degrees right now, and it's actually really not that bad, so I was really surprised by that. The containment though, this is where it falls off just a little bit. I mean, the whole thing's just a little bit flimsy. There's not a ton of layers. If you want a little bit more protection, I would say go for ones that have that plastic base. I think the yellow colorway has it. I think the purple one has it, the black one, maybe the gray one. There's a couple other ones that do as well, but I'd say go for those if you want a little bit more containment and just a little bit more security around your foot if you're a bigger player. But yeah, this setup actually felt extremely good. I really have no problem with it whatsoever. The tongue was not, it's not super padded. It's really just 2 backing layers of this mesh that you can see in the toe box, but it does its job well, and there wasn't any sort of heel slip or lace irritation. It was a little bit pinchy at the top of the tongue here. You can see it's like this thing is kind of big and it like has to fit fully inside of the shoe. And then these like little wings on the end kind of pinch your foot after a while, but it does go away after you break it in, so that wasn't a huge deal. But yeah, this setup was actually extremely good, and I was really happy with how the uppers felt. This is definitely probably for more of the lighter players because there's not a ton going on here. But for me, this was a great setup, and for that reason, I would rate it great. Moving on down to the cushion of the Nike Jaw 2 and how it felt outdoors. It's okay, you know, it's a pretty stiff Phylon. They say it's Cushlon, yada yada. I don't think so, because this does not feel remotely like Cushlon. Cushlon is a lot softer. This is very rubberized. This is just, it's fairly firm. You do gotta heat it up a little bit, you know, warm it up just a little bit, but it's not anything crazy. The heel was a little bit mushy. You do get a nice amount of bounce with the shank, though. It is a top-loaded, pretty strong shank, and it's made of plastic. So I really like that. I thought, you know, it was a really good amount of bounce, honestly. But yeah, the heel landings were okay. You know, there's not a lot going on. This is a really low to the ground setup too. You're really low on the shoe. The forefoot did feel pretty good after breaking in. You can definitely feel that zoom unit connect with your toes if you get the right size. So impact protection in the forefoot was actually not bad even outdoors. So yeah, overall, you know, it's a nice and bouncy setup. There's just not a ton going on, and honestly, I think that's kind of okay for this price. I think that's kind of fine for where it's at. So for that reason, I'd rate it good. On down to how the traction performed on the Nike Jaw 2. This is probably its strongest feature. You're gonna have what I said before was kind of like that rocky, like pebble, just like quadrilateral shape pattern. You got like a bunch of different suction cups going on, and then like a slight break with that big Nike swoosh. And that's just foam underneath. But the traction felt really good. Zero slipping, zero anything really. I mean, there was a couple times I was like slipping out, but I think that has to do with your different like footwork and how you play into the shoe. It's definitely not for the best like lateral side to side movements, I will say that, but everywhere else in the traction is really good. Indoors, this is top tier traction for sure. You're getting very minimal dust pickup, and you're getting really hard stops, so that was nice. Same thing outdoors, and super loud squeak also. Durability is a bit of an issue, we'll get into that later, but the traction just by itself is really good. I would rate it great. I had zero problems playing in them. You do have a little outrigger too on the traction as well, little clip flange there, and that just helps with stability, and it definitely does its job well. This is a really good setup traction pattern. I hope they use something similar like this in the Jaw 3 or maybe just another Nike model, because I thought it performed great. As far as the durability goes for the Nike Jaw 2, this is definitely its weakest feature because the uppers, like I said, they're very simple. It's just really simple stuff going on here. It's not going to be super durable. You could definitely break through this mesh after a little bit of time. Yeah, not a ton going on in the uppers. Cushion should be okay. It's a fairly stiff cushion, which is actually good in this case for durability with that shank and the zoom unit protecting the foam. I think the foam setup will last a pretty decent amount of time outdoors. As far as the traction goes though, this is extremely soft rubber. This is extremely malleable rubber. I'll show it on the B-roll, but I'm already getting fraying on the forefoot of it. I played in this for like 2-3 weeks outdoors, so that's kind of bad. It's just really soft rubber, so I would say this is a no-go for outdoors, and the durability is going to be bad. As far as the fit goes for the Nike Jaw 2, they're going to fit true to size. I'm a size 8. I got a size 8. They're right up to my toes, but they do break in really well, so they will loosen up a little bit over time. They are not the widest shoe, so if you need something wider, I think I would just go with another brand because this is typically just how Nike basketball shoes are. Maybe try the Sabrinas or maybe the KDs. Those might be good for wide feet if you're looking for Nike. But as far as this shoe goes, the Jaw 2, I would just say go true to size. But my biggest takeaways of the Nike Jaw 2 playing in them outdoors is the uppers are very comfortable and just very well set up. I feel like with their budget constraints and what they had to do as far as that goes, getting the price down, I thought they did a really good job. I hope this type of mesh returns in the future Jaw models because I thought it was really comfortable. It wasn't super, tight and stuff like the Kobe's are. So this was really enjoyable to play in for the uppers. Another big takeaway for me is going to be the durability. This is going to be a no-go outdoors. These just aren't durable at all. Like, traction is not good. Cushion's going to be okay, and the uppers are definitely not going to be good. So I'd say just stay away from these outdoors. If you find one on sale, maybe do it. You know, I've seen ones for like $50, $55, but that would maybe be worth it, because I honestly do think this is a really good shoe. So, but overall, maybe just go with a different model for outdoors. Last big takeaway for me is just overall how they play. They play really good. This is a really good sleeper model. I feel like nobody's really giving a lot of credit for. I think the whole design language of it just being a Kobe, you know, knockoff or whatever, really off-put some people, and they didn't want to try it. But I'm telling you now, these are really good performers indoors. Outdoors, there should be good, but, you know, other than the durability. This is, yeah, just, it's a great shoe to play in. I really enjoyed playing in these. But that'll pretty much do it for today's review of the Nike Ja 2. Make sure you guys subscribe. Like I said, we hit 500, and I will be doing a giveaway on the Nike GT Cut Academy in a Nike by You colorway, so it'll be fully customizable to whatever you want to make it. So stay subscribed for that, and don't miss any other videos that I've got. I might do a comparison of these and the GT Cut Academy, because they are a little similar. You know, there's some similarities there, and I think it'd be an interesting matchup. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.